I want to talk about literary events, book events, and what I feel could make them better, and why some of them fail, in my opinion. And I've been to some book events. I've paid money, spent money to go to some book events, and I've also done walkthroughs at some book events. So I have an opinion. The first thing I think is that the people planning the event need to really think through their promotion tactics. Like just promoting on social media, Facebook, Instagram, or whatever, is not sufficient enough for an event. Like honestly, if you charging 175, 250, 200, 150 a table, like a portion of those that fee should be going to pay for radio promotion in the city where you're actually promoting the event. And the next thing you need to be doing is going out gathering sponsors in your local area. Go to the library. But the library is there to service the people, you know what I mean, as well. That's why it's a public library. They offer services. Go to the library and see if they could sponsor your event. That way you directly in contact with readers. Readers go to the library. So people that read will be knowing that your event is taking place, where it's taking place at, and when it is. You know what I mean? Like, got to be using your more resources to get the people to come out to the event. You know what I mean? Social media is definitely not sufficient promotion for any type of event where you want people to show up in person and try to sell books. Like you want people to come out and vend. That's definitely not the way to go with promotion. You have to offer more in that area. And that's why I feel like a portion of whatever people are paying for vending should go to, areas where you may have to pay to promote your local radio stations. And also hit up the college radio stations. Most of them are free. And again, they'll probably sponsor you, if your event is official. Um, the next thing is make sure that people can get to the location and they know all the ins and outs, because people that are traveling from elsewhere usually don't start looking at directions until they actually touch down in the place where they at, and then they get at the airport and see that where they need to be for an event is another hour and a half away or 45 minutes away or whatever, and they really in an unknown city and place. So I think all of that should be within the itinerary of the promotion. Where what if the airports where they'll potentially be landing at, and how far the event is, and the different ways to travel depending on, you know, their means, whether they're gonna be renting a car, if they gotta take public transportation. That way they could get all their time and everything together, and you can't expect people to get all these things together with such a vague promotion. This event is taking place here, this day, at this time. Like they can't, they can't know the city that they landed in. A lot of people don't know the city they landed in, so they can't factor in a accurate time base. But if you put it in the itinerary, in the promotion, that'll be better for people. Um, another thing is coordinating the the promotion, like making sure that once you get something locked in, it's locked in. Don't be promoting one thing and then at the last minute it's not happening. Like you gotta be 100% sure, because people are invested in what they seeing, and if they seeing one thing at one time, if that it could be one thing that disappeared that will make them not wanting to invest in the whole thing. So you have to give people a chance to, what I mean, really understand what they getting into, and that's by solid promotion, making sure mean what you say and say exactly what you mean. This is who's gonna be here. This is where it's gonna be. All the no changes, all that. Like you really shouldn't be promoting a location until you got that locked in. You done paid a deposit or whatever, and people are making. Like you have to think about the people, because people are coming from other places. People are traveling to this event a lot of times. So those are the three key things on the people that's holding the events. And also, oh, another thing, I'm sorry, this is very important. If your event is in the event, that your event is canceled, have the courtesy to reach out to everyone who paid you through email. The same way you got it, if you got it through PayPal, whatever, reach out back to them and let them know the event has been canceled through email. Going on social media, making a video or a post or whatever is not sufficient enough when people have spent their money. You don't know how these people heard about your event. Word of mouth is still the biggest tool. You know what I mean? They could have heard about your event through someone else, and they don't even be on social media like that. And they just went and paid the money, like, yo, this is something I want to go to, and set up all their plans or whatever, and not following social media like that. Like, they just know, look, I'm supposed to be in Oklahoma on this day, you know what I mean? And this is where I'm going, and blah blah blah. This is the hotel I'm staying at, and I'll figure out. Well, I got the address to the event. I'll figure out how to get there when I get there, whatever. You know what I mean? But if you want to cancel the event on social media and they don't know, people will still travel. So make sure you keep all of those things in mind. Now, as far as the authors, that are vending at these events, you have to start putting demand on these promoters for these things. Have you gone to what I see you having an event? Have you gone to your public library? Who you got sponsoring you? How's your promotion going? Where you promoting that outside of social media? These are the things you got to ask the person when they start promoting the event. Like, you can't be afraid to ask. And it don't matter who you saw there last year or what was going on the day before, who even they say is going to be there. Like, you got to ask questions. Like, don't be intimidated. A business is business. You know what I mean? And when you don't take care of business in the forefront, then later you be sitting around like, damn, like, this person did me wrong. Nah, sometimes people just be promoting exactly what you see, but you ain't really asked the right questions, like a schedule to appear, or somebody being honored or whatever. That don't mean that person gonna be there. You be watching the Grammys. People be getting Grammys and be right at home with a video like thank you, and sometimes not even that, you know what I mean? So you got to be looking at everything that's getting promoted before you know what I mean? And you got to ask questions. That's important. That I like we used to do that back in the days. I used to be on the street team promoting for record labels and stuff, and like we would put things like the record label would put little fancy things like that, like scheduled to appear, because they'll know the artist's gonna be out on the road at that time, but they got somebody at the label that's promoting a party. They'll put so and so scheduled to appear, people coming, you know what I mean? But the person, the artist really gonna be on the road at that time, you know what I mean? But so you gotta be watching. You gotta be watching for all the little. This is a business, and you gotta be watching for the tricks of the trade as well as this is going on. You know what I mean? And when you the cost, you gotta be the authors gotta be factoring in costs. If you paying 175, 200, 300, 400 for a table, okay. Now, if you're traveling from elsewhere, let's just be realistic. You probably gonna spend like 350 minimum for a round trip ticket from anywhere. So you already down 750. You gotta have somewhere to stay for the weekend. Let's just say you done burnt a stack right there, and you ain't that ain't even counting your books that you got if you had to order books. So you already down like over a stack. Are you honestly going to make that money at this event? Is what you got to be asking yourself. You know what I mean? Cost. Cost is a part of business. Like, you can't be just investing $1,000 into a weekend to take pictures and say you was somewhere. That cost could be going into something else, a T-shirt for your brand. So anything, you know what I mean? Anything other than that. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be looking into cost. You know what I mean? Another thing that authors have to be doing when they go into these cities is make sure that you reaching out directly to people that are in that city. You know what I mean? Yo, y'all seen anybody promoting this event out there? What's this about? You seeing this out there? Where people talking about this? Interact with the people on social media that you be interacting with randomly. You know what I mean? You see they in that city, an event being held there. Because a lot of times I'll be seeing on social media people be like, "Oh, I didn't even know this was happening." They be right in the same city. You know what I mean? So you got to be asking questions, man. Seriously, you have to. If you don't, then you probably gonna have an expensive experience. The two E's you don't want. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just wrap this little part up for right now, man. I got some other things I want to talk about on this, but I'm gonna just wrap this up for right now. That's just food for thought, man. I can't make you eat it, but I could offer it to you on a plate.